members. Our members.
Yeah, how do you know they are members?
We are running cut. We have cuts.
So
membership
subscribed
card
members
yes.
are almost 1 million.
Yes.
So you are hitting ANC numbers in terms of membership, because ANC and EFF are running around 1 million membership.
Yeah, in terms of members, I'm more focusing on ours.
No,
but
I understand.
Who then votes? It's another story.
Yes, I understand. That's why I'm specifically saying membership. You're saying in terms of membership, you are around 1 million.
Around 1 million.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those are good numbers.
Yeah. No, we have numbers. That is why I'm saying no revolution has ever been televised. When we go up, people don't know who's UAT. They'll come back to your show and re-look. According to their stats. Now they're looking at the IFP and them. Why? Because they're not doing research. They've been fed with what they see on the polls, who they see on TV. If I can pull my membership only, I'm already number 4.
And numbers speak. You're going to show them numbers.
Numbers.
In June.
In May.
No, in June. In June.
Or in June.
They'll see your numbers in June.
Correct.
Yes.
In June, yes.
And you reckon a lot of people are going to be surprised.
The people and the world
will be surprised. Any estimation of what numbers are you going to hit? Either percentage or actual vote?
If the doers can show up and play their part, and the Africans can love themselves and stop voting with these DA things that we don't know. That we used to sing, me and you. Hoza moya, hoza moya, hoza moya. What happened to that? It went to Kodesa with the Holy Spirit, it came out without it.
Because it can only be a prayer. A prayer, you spoke about doers. A prayer cannot do. A prayer can only wish. So I understand your ideals, very beautiful and noble. I'm just worried about the reality is not nice for Africanism. The reality out there is it will be your African people who are going to take you down. You are part and parcel of the toolbox that the colonials have used.
Yes.
And it becomes a contradiction in term for you as an African man who espouses black consciousness and Pan-Africanism, who holds the Christian God higher. And I just want you to give an opportunity to explain that part. I'm conflicted in today as we speak. MK Party, I was telling another Kader to say, MK Party, right or wrong, FNB has told Zuma that we are closing your account. Right or wrong, court order or not court order, the MK say we are not happy with that, and we are going to come and we're going to tell you these are our demands. If you don't accede to our demands, it's simple. We are going to mobilize our people to close business with you.
Yes.
That is pro-Africanism that I love and that I expect. And I'm happy you and I see eye to eye. So I want you with
Yiyole, Pan-African.
black founded, black funded.
Yes.
Who are the Africans who are funding you?
The only party, I'm making a statement, the only party from its foundation that is self-funded. Now, if you have...
Do you want to qualify the only? What do you mean?
We have had people say they are black funded, but we know how they started.
No. Black funded, but you say you are funding your own.
Yes.
And then you are the only one who funds themselves. What do you mean? Do you know on record that the other parties are not self-funded?
No, we're talking about ourselves.
Oh, okay.
We are focusing on ourselves.
I think I misheard the only party.
Yes.
I thought the other parties are not honest when they say they are the only. You are the only one who's
right
honest.
from its foundation.
Okay, until now. Please explain to the people who are you and where you from.
Okay. My name is Wonder Mahlatsi, born and raised in the Val in Sebokeng, and grew up in the whole Val, from Everton, Sharpeville, Bophelong, Boipatong, but originally from Sebokeng in Zone 11.
What does that entail? What is the Val?
By the river, I come from Sidibeng. I come from Metsialekwa. I come from the river, where if you know how the river, the Val Triangle is, it starts from Mpumalanga, it moves and give you that corner there by my place, the Val, and it will end somewhere in the pole to make that V. But where the V is, that is where I am, in the river.
So I was speaking to a comrade. He was telling me he's the chairperson, Johnny Mohlela, chairperson of the geographical name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he speaks about changing things. For example, if you were to change, and then Labrela got the three hook from the triangle, he says he will reject. He will reject. He wants you to say
Yes.
So if you were to change, would you push for that?
To change the Val, the naming, from the dam, from the river, from the geographical name, from the PWV, for instance, of the past. Would it be important for you to change? I don't see any significant if you don't change the mindset ya rona ma Africa go likwa.
Okay.
How ka qala ka rona? We change our mindset. We develop likwa. Today, this week we not celebrated. Today we commemorated Sharpeville Langa Massacre Day, which the South Africans are calling the Human Rights Day. The march was never about Human Rights Day. The number we were given, about 69 people died, is not the correct one. Those who were there, who we grew up next to, they're talking about hundreds. But the number come from the police. The very same people who shot our Hoodmans, our uncles in the Val. But why, after 30 years, the meaning of democracy? Go and look at Sharpeville. Today, they come with musicians to dance and play music, celebrating Human Rights Day, while we are using it to mourn, to commemorate, and as a memorial service of those who've put their lives on the line who ensure hore ka jekule bantu Wonder Mahlatsi o dutse mo o bua le bana ba bona ba batsho jwale ka yena. So there is no way we can focus on names the same way they stole that name, Sharpeville Shooting Day, by Yetsa Human Rights Day, and on ana ka tšhentšha lekwa. Developer bana ba lekwa hore re na le lekwa impa metsi a lekwa batho ba temana metsi a faile. Hona le metsi a faile vale. Some of the areas had in a metsi. Rona ne re hola magotmana na re, hey boy, there's two things you don't fight for. You don't fight for girls and you don't fight for water, because those are two things you find in the valley. Beautiful girls and a lot of water. But look at it today. Lekwa halina development. Everyone abatang ho etsa his own tendering. Utloa from Soweto, Pretoria, ayo tendera lekwa. Ha bana ba lekwa ba lapile. Gona re phela le bana ba lekwa, they're hungry. So there is no way we can focus on names and don't change the mindset. We don't need new Africa. We need to change the mindset of Africa and take his story, their story, and build a new story, which is our story.
Thank you. While you spoke about that V, I just got to remember something. So, you know the Emelo municipality, it's called Msuga Likwa.
Yes.
So, is that the source of the Val Dam?
And it in the is our Suka in Mpumalanga.
Sure.
Emelo is in Mpumalanga.
Yes, it's in Mpumalanga.
And then it comes to the river.
Yes.
And then it sharper that V, it goes straight to the porch, and then that side. You end up at that side.
Okay.
So that is where Umsuka ibulela ho tloha halekwa ifihlile ho rona mo lekwa le tsang 3 huku teng.
Okay.
Yes. Khutlo tharo ya teng mo.
Yes. All right.
And then it's ya kwa Potch.
All right. So, but are you? Is it factual that the Vaal, the source of the Vaal Dam of the Vaal River is in Emelo, Msugalikwa, or is just a misnomer? Okay.
Mawilanda from the beginning, but you can't say it's the source.
Oh, okay.
If it is, then I'll leave it there because I'm not an expert in it.
Okay. All right. No, it's fine. It was just an interest matter. So, UAT.
Yes.
It's very difficult on my tongue. Explain why did you name it this way? And I have to give you props for a name that is different, a logo that is different, colors that are not are different. We are fighting today. I've hosted political parties who are fighting for identities, and I have to give you props for coming up with something that is no one can come and contest. Even the ideology, because for us Africans the ideology is always the same. Please explain this, the importance of the party and why you came up with this uniqueness.
It's original.
Okay.
You look at the key inside. So I'm encouraging our people, black people, to look at the key inside. That is the key that is going to unlock the mind of a black child.
Okay.
That is a key that is going to unlock the economy. And that is a key that we're going to use to open those doors that were closed behind us because we are not connected to anyone politically, and ensure we open it for those who are not connected and who are not even politicians, who are not even voting for UAT.
Okay.
Yes. Now, then the United Nhlangano, Africans, Ma-Afrika, transformation, taking them from one step to the next level. The unity among Africans and the independence of African people. Skill transferability, united and working together, and ensure that Ma-Afrika, they find themselves. If you can find yourself, you'll be able to change the life of others. Kiske ka utloya hobane bua leme le fapane. Ke kgone nka borotho ba ka ba bana ba ka ke na le a bread ka kata 4 bana ba ka ba ithuka ba fa dithutu ka nka bona ka bothaka in ka ya ka man across the street mo ba hlopheyang feta ka ba fa bona without anyone seeing me, without taking pictures. Ba ja ke sa relate le bona la ke sa kwane le mama bona ka papa bona mara bana ba ha ba je ire untima umphele ngwana.
That's deep.
Yes, we're talking about the spirit of Ubuntu, which is godliness. Mutu ki mutu ka batho. Now, I'm taking my position and put it aside, and we are taking boots. And for the first time, we are a party that will stand next to FF Plus. When FF Plus says, we are a party that is protecting the interest of the poor, UAT is protecting the interest of black people. I'm not afraid to say that we have an agenda, and that agenda it has a color. That color is black. Black founded, black funded. Independence of a black child.
Very interesting. Very interesting, because I wanted you to paint this picture of your political party, how its formation, why you think it's important, and it screams Pan-Africanism, black consciousness. And before we get to black funded, let's talk about BC in South Africa, the black consciousness. Maybe for me, just started at Kliptown when African people decided to say, it's fine, you keep your Your Africa, South Africa is all who live in it and those who said no home Africa. Railatla Africa. Why are we compromising our struggle? The struggle has always been about land and prioritizing African people.
Exactly.
Please explain the importance of Kliptown for you, because you come from the Black consciousness background.
I want to take it back. If you remember, when Ubiko and them were talking about Pan-Africanism, it included Indians, it included coloreds, if you remember very well. And when they arrive in school, when I say school, tertiary level, then they find out that now there is a gap. This is where UAT say, in particular, black people. But that is not to discriminate against other people. Now, that was the birth of black consciousness. And later then came I Write What I Like. But I want to move away from politics of academics, which is the field I'm from, and talk to my people. And that, if that's deviating from the show, you let me know. But I want to talk about Pan-African today. Who are we and why did we start this whole thing? And there's only one name, one word: hunger. Kala. Our people are hungry. Our people are hungry. There's a reason in 1912 ANC was started. It was about the land. They deviated from it and dropped the Pan-African programs. 1959, the birth of Pan-African Congress of Azania under Usobukwe. The only agenda was the land. 10 years ago, the Red Berets came. What was the agenda? The land back. Another political party that came again 5 years ago, I think is the UAT, the ATM. Same agenda, the land back. UAT is here today, the land back. Now, the difference now is the era of the lefty. The lefty has awoke. If we can remove the funder, which is a colonizer, and lean towards the left, we'll be able to implement the program of 1959, the program of Sobukwe, the program of Steve Biko, and all those questions that you're asking, they will be answered only if a black child awoke and we stick to the left, we implement the dream of a black child. The only reason a black political party start, it's about the land. I'm not talking about this nonsense that you see all over the show. We're talking and putting all the boards everywhere who have been funded and everything. They're not talking about us.
Are you talking about Rice Mzansi?
I don't know who are those. I know Pan-African Congress of Azania. I know your ATM. I know your AEF. I know UAT. So, when we talk about a Pan-African today, why the whites are willing to give us a free democratic elections, but they can't give us the land? What is it about the land they know we don't know? Why are they holding on to the land? What is the land? They took professionals, they took academics, and then they gave them what they call an estate. 2 meters square. The building must go up. And that is a dream of now our children, to stay in a gated environment where they lock you inside. 10 o'clock, no music. You break something, you fix it. It will damage the image of the estate. The UAT is going to introduce black children to the real estate. Hectares. While we are fighting hunger, while we are fighting unemployment, while we are fighting this and that, you must be able to go out, pay, with the stomach as full. The UAT is saying, before Mamaga, Aja the PDC, she must eat. We are talking about free medication, free medical support, but we are saying, before Aja the PDC, she must eat first. We are saying we'll give you free education from primary level, secondary level, until tertiary, but that is not the UAT concern. Our concern is hangwana aje pile aya skolo. That is Pan-African. Because their mindset or his mindset will be good. Aya skolo, akona concentrator, aba productive, akutla looking forward at the high, and before arobala asiqedile ho bapala le homework, anokena mole a prepare mobu, knowing hore mobu ko ona o etsang hore ke dule ke lo right. So we introduce agriculture from the level ya primary, mo ngwana a ithutang how to prepare the soil, how to put the seeds. At tsamaya high school, a kgona ho bona di weather, a kgona ho bona mobu right for different the season, a fihle ko nthong ko tertiary level, understand the commercial side ya farming. Each family one land. And we're not talking land, we work at the square meters at the estate. We're talking land. For us, yiyole Pan-African.
Black founded, black funded.
Yes.
Who are the Africans who are funding you?
The only party, I'm making a statement, the only party from its foundation that is self-funded. Now, if you have...
Do you want to qualify the only? What do you mean?
We have heard people say they are black funded, but we know how they started.
No. Black funded, but you say you are funding your own.
Yes.
And then you are the only one who funds themselves. What do you mean? Do you know on record that the other parties are not self-funded?
No, we're talking about ourselves.
Oh, okay.
We are focusing on ourselves.
I think I misheard the only party.
Yes.
I thought the other parties are not honest when they say they are the only. You are the only one who's
right
honest.
From its foundation.
Okay, until now.
Right from, we're still on the foundation stage because it's our first election.
Okay.
We'll be contesting both provincial and national.
When were you found?
We founded in 2022 November. It's only we're 2-year baby. That's a political party.
Okay.
Yes. Now we are talking about how do we fund it. You first fix the mindset of a black child. When you recruit them, you focus on the bigger picture, which is the black agenda. Now, if I say to 500,000 people, but the 10 rand each, how much would that give you?
I don't know.
That is 500,000. It's 500,000.
So
then you can build 2 houses for the poorest of the poorest with that money. Hence, we have built 35 houses, fully finished, without funding.
So you generate your own money through subscription?
Through our members.
Yeah, do they subscribe? Or is it a joining fee? Do they pay it every month?
A co-joining fee. One of the people come to us and say, I've identified in one community a family that is struggling. When you are there, the rain is coming. It's the last one that we did now. It's a girl that is raising his 3 brothers. The girl is about 17. He's raising this alone. One shack, no privacy. When it rains, it's a mess. Then we went there to check. We took pictures. We went to our doers. We call them doers, not comrades. We went to the doers and say, here is a black project. In 3 months, can you all have contributed 10 rand? We got that 10 rand. We built that house, fully finished. But look at the tricks. When we wanted to use that money for that only, then other people say, I'm a builder. The other one said, I'm not a builder, but I'm willing to help with Daho. And people came. I can put tiles. Others said, I can do this. I don't have much money, but I can give my hands. The people came together. Among us, there are business people who said, I can assist with bricks. Others said, I can assist with this. By the time we're done with that house, you'll see the relief on that girl's eyes. And she said to us, for the first time, my focus is tertiary education. Because my goal was I'm not going to tertiary. I have to go and look for work so that I can feed and put roof on top of my siblings.
Can your comms team share with us those details so we can display them here so for other people to see?
I would really love to. I'll also share one of our ads when we went to the last one that we did in Limpopo. So definitely we can share that.
Contrary to what you said earlier on, do you then appreciate the value? Because I come from a CSI background where contribution to people it's very important when you impact people's lives. And there's always a negative connotation when it comes to pictures and videos whenever you do that work.
Yes.
Earlier on you said you take bread and then you go and give it without taking pictures.
Yes.
So I want you to understand that taking pictures is not necessarily a bad thing, because people always misconstrue that as if you are it's for your own ego.
Yes.
It's not always about you and about your own ego.
Yes.
It's to show, because for example people are middle people. I take this to go and give, and for people in the middle to actually see that I did take and I did give.
Oh, yes.
I need evidentiary documentation to say I have actually given. Yes, for example, you are here, people hear that you help people. It's important for people to see you helping people.
Yes.
Not that we better harm Africa. It's just the way this thing is. So I'm just cautioning you to say, taking pictures when people are donating, it's not really a bad thing. But I understand. You still haven't explained how are you going to reach your maximum potential with that figure of 500,000. Running elections is very expensive.
Yes.
I've said this many times and I'm not afraid to say it.
Yes.
ANC is a benchmark with whatever we do because they're the incumbent 30-year-old party in government. They used 1 billion for elections a few years back. I always show people this example. 500,000 is a drop in the ocean. I don't know how many times you get that 500,000. You cannot be funded by Africans. I want you to understand me. You cannot be funded by Africans without money from whites.
No, I disagree.
No, listen to me. And pose a difficult challenge to those who are funded by capital, and capital in South Africa is white. Must I ask it again, or did you understand my question?
It's
You
clear.
clear? Okay, explain it.
It's clear. No, I understand clearly what you're talking about. Let me take you back. The last election, when we voted for Ramaphosa.
When Action SA came out of nowhere to...
Yes.
Yes.
When we voted for Ramaphosa, I was still with the ANC.
Okay.
That is before the UAT.
Okay.
I used to receive about 10,000 T-shirts. 10,000. And they say, leader, make sure all the wards get. They come to my house. They give me 10,000. They bring me boards. Make sure they're all on the poles. It means it's a board, it's a paper, and you have to put them together, staple them. It's a work, that's work. Now I have to go and look for these boys to help. And we do that. And the T-shirts. You go around the boards, go around the poles. Have you seen UAT?
No.
There's no UAT. Because we don't have that muscle. You have never seen us on mainstream. And I want to indicate that, more especially to our doers and the black people, let's support this podcast. Because these are the people who reach out to us and say, people must know about this revolution that is coming. Because no revolution has ever been televised. This thing is huge. It's not the small parties. It's a new party. UAT is not a small party. It's a new party. The numbers will tell. We are close to 1 million. Now,
Wait.
active members.
You're close to 1 million members.
Active. active members on the ground doing UAT work, not voters.
When you say membership, are you talking about registered people?
No, our members. Our members.
Yeah, how do you know they are members?
We're running we have cards.
So
membership
subscribed
card
members
yes.
are almost 1 million.
Yes.
So you are hitting ANC numbers in terms of membership, because ANC and EFF are running around 1 million membership.
Yeah, in terms of members, I'm more focusing on ours.
No,
but
I understand.
Who then votes? It's another story.
Yes, I understand. That's why I'm specifically saying membership. You're saying
yes.
in terms of membership, you are around 1 million.
Around 1 million.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those are good numbers.
Yeah. No, we have numbers. That is why I'm saying no revolution has ever been televised. When we go up, people don't know who's UAT. They'll come back to your show and re-look. Now, you can't see us here. You can't see us. You can't see the cars painted with our colors. I come from an environment where we used to be given money, and then we do all these things. We plug, we market. You see, we are all four. We came with one car. And you know that we saw the type of a car we are driving. We are pushing the revolution. And when you do that, you don't ask for we just put 100 rand there, we put petrol and we come and do God's work. God, this is God's work. The land we were given by God, the minerals were given by God, and we're doing God's work. By fighting for this land and give it back to the rightful owners, that is God's work. And nothing will stop us. For the first time, the Holy Spirit will go back to Nkosi Sikeleli, that we used to sing, me and you. Hoza moya, hoza moya, hoza moya. What happened to that? It went to Kodesa with the Holy Spirit, it came out without it.
Because it can only be a prayer. A prayer, you spoke about doers. A prayer cannot do. A prayer can only wish. So I understand your ideals, very beautiful and noble. I'm just worried about the reality. Is not nice for Africanism. The reality out there is it will be your African people who are going to take you down. You are gunning for national elections.
Yes.
And you don't have a branded car. You don't have all of these niceties that big political parties who are seen.
Yes.
You know, I was speaking to Rise Mzansi.
Yes.
Those guys not only have a national comms team, they also have provincial comms teams. And I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, Rebecca Oppenheimer gave them 16 million. I mean, you are just born, you are given 16 million. I asked them, you rejected people's monies, but this one you took. What did she say when you took? We rejected someone, but this one you took. So what is it that you spoke to her and you agreed to sell? Because, I mean, people are worried that it means you share the same ideals as Rebecca Oppenheimer.
Africa.
So I want to understand.
When you take the money, Africa.
Yes.
The oppressor will tell you, Mahlatsi, leave this land.
Yeah.
Take this one. And this one, don't take it now. Take it after 3 years.
Yes.
Whereas you went to the people and you say, put me in power, I will take the land.
Lancaster House Agreement in Zimbabwe.
Exactly. Now, there's no one whispering in my ears.
Yes.
There's no one who's saying, Roja mo Afrika, Hosan mo praise.
Yes.
Yes. Now, there is no one where I will go back and say, Eriko Botsapili, the phone calls. When the people give me the mandate, that mandate will be fulfilled. That is the difference between us, those who came before us, in terms of implementation. Because they can talk about it, they can be popular about it. The problem is they cannot implement it because it needs to serve a certain purpose. And that purpose is the purpose of the funder. Now, this is a self-funded revolution. And when we talk about this, we talk about the plant that has a color, that's a black color, and we will implement these programs. So leave these monies from people, and let's push our revolution right from the bottom, right from the foundation. It will go up. towards the elections, the people will talk about United African transformation. Go into the elections, the numbers will tell.
You're very optimistic. And optimism is a good thing. But I'm a realist. You know,
I wanna interject you.
Yeah.
The ANC, which is the ruling party, voted with 10 million, 84 seats. DA, look at the gap, 3 million, vote with 84 seats. No, the ANC had 200 and something seats with 10 million. And the DA, with 3 million votes, they had 84 seats. The third one was the EFF, 1.8 million votes. They had about 44 seats. And then after that, look at the gap. Number 4 was the IFP. The IFP, 590,000.
Which year is that?
The last election, national elections.
2019.
Yes, the last elections.
Okay.
Yes. The IFP was 4th, 590,000, and they had 14 seats. Then they were followed by FF Plus, with 400,000 votes, and they had 10 seats. Now, to go back to the small ones, to say Good Party had 74 seats, 74 votes, and they had 2 seats.
74,000.
70-something thousand, okay. And they had 4 seats, 2 seats. Now I went down. There's others in the middle, but I wanted to give you the top 5, with where IFP is the 4th, with 590,000. Those are votes. Now, if you look at the realist and the analyst, political analyst on TV, and those who are doing stats, they say this one will go down, up, down, this one will gain this, and others, those small things, which is us, they will all share the 7% there. Even not 7%, 0.7, according to their stats. Now they're looking at the IFP and them. Why? Because they're not doing research. They've been fed with what they see on the polls, who they see on TV. If I can pull my membership only, I'm already number 4. It's a new party. Hence, we are not a new party. We are not a small party, we are a new party. If the doers can be honest and vote with their heart and show up, we are already 4th, but you can't see it anywhere.
And if every member brings 2 people to come and vote?
I say bring it their wives or their friends, and we are already over. You see, just one person. If the doers, we are 600,000, and you bring just one person who's not a member, we are sitting on 1.2 million.
Those are EFF numbers.
And we are going to make history. Why? Because no one is talking about the UAT. But do they know about us? The answer is yes. They can't give us time. Hence we go to Africa, who are fair, who can interview Panyaza Lissufi, who can interview AEF, who can interview Mkondo Wesizwe. That is the reason we are here, and encouraging the black people to make sure they subscribe to this podcast, to ensure that these are the programs that grow, because these are the programs that will take us to the next level.
So, in essence, you're saying, with your big numbers, you are still shunned by mainstream media. You are hardly given space there.
It's difficult. In a similar way, no one is talking about us because those doors are closed. Go and see the badge is the key. We're going to unlock it.
Yeah. Someone will say, numbers speak. You're going to show them numbers.
Numbers.
In June.
In May.
No, in June. In June.
Or in June.
They'll see your numbers in June.
Correct.
Yes.
In June, yes.
And you reckon a lot of people are going to be surprised.
The people in the world
will be surprised. Any estimation of what numbers are you going to hit? Either percentage or actual votes?
If the doers can show up and play their part, and the Africans can love themselves and stop voting with these DA things that we don't know, we're looking at 10%. And the headline, it will be the woke of the lefty. Politics will change forever.
Are you in alliance with PAC?
Yes, we're not aligned, we're friends. We are the friends of PAC.
So how many, you see, I don't want to talk about leftist politics because, you know, EFF is a red left.
Yes.
Let me just talk about Pan-Africanist and black consciousness ones.
Yes.
Is Azapo still contesting?
I think Azapo, if I don't speak for them, they might collude with PAC. But last time I was with their leader was there representing himself.
Yes.
Yes, I think I was with them last month. Yes, just to touch base and understand the struggle of the left.
Is Andile Mchitama Pan-Africanist, leftist and black consciousness? Land first, black first. Do you consider him in your clique?
But he's voting with Mkondo Sizwe.
I understand.
Yes.
That's why I'm asking you.
Because we are going to election, it's difficult to talk about BLF.
Okay.
Unless you're talking about him as an individual.
I've had an opportunity to speak to him directly, and especially at the time when he was leaving EFF, he hadn't announced at the time, and I pleaded with him and I said, Mo Africa, do you not think the goals that you are pursuing, they will be better pursued inside the EFF? I'm not saying you'll be happy. I'm not saying, but the revolution can make you happy all the time than to go outside. It's almost like I was saying, champion whatever you're championing, because land is the biggest pillar inside the EFF. You may not like it, but going outside, you are not going to have space. And you could see now, he's got a political party, but he's campaigning for another political party. And it worries me. They are not the only ones. And I want to ask you, let's read them. It's UAT, it's Azapo, it's PAC. I asked one of my guests, she's very young. She does not know what PAC and Azapo are.
Okay.
Yes, and
AEF?
Well, do you want us to put them? I'll put them. I'll put AEF. And which other parties? ATM? BLF? Can we?
Yeah, BLF.
BLF. So you have 6 political parties in South Africa that we know that are, I'm not saying there ain't others, that we know that are black consciousness and Pan-Africanist at heart.
And if you also look at different UDM, if you look at different, okay.
Let's
move along.
The reason I'm doing this is I want to club you into these elections as a preparatory coalitions, but working for the next elections, where in the next elections you could either take a metro together, or you could take maybe this regional district municipalities and stuff, something big, so you could push your ideas.
CDB.
Yes, you could push it. I've been saying with the EFF is the problem with the EFF is they have not taken something big where the jurisdiction allows them to push, because as an example, then people will see what is it that you are doing, because EFF speak good African politics.
Yes.
The difficulty is people don't trust them because they have not seen them doing anything. But I think let's leave that. Let's talk about something new.
I think going back to Andile.
Yeah.
He's a Pan-Africanist.
At heart.
At heart.
Out and out.
And if you are woke, Wonder Mahlatsi, reporting to a commander, it's not easy. Because Africa batla who debate. Abatla re different. They don't need a commander. Now, you have the president, who I think for me is not Pan-Africanist, is nationalist. You have a deputy president who's a socialist, and the former spokesperson, my homeboy, Dr. Who's the other one? Mbuyiseni.
Yes.
He's Pan-Africanist. He's from the Val. He's Pan-African.
Yes.
And then there was Andile. Now you have a mixture that can work if it's correctly directed. Only if the ideas are open and we're open for debate.
And that in itself, let's agree, Mo Africa, that it is one of the great leadership roles that Julius Malema is often not credited
Exactly.
for. To combine independent thinkers,
Exactly.
it's very difficult.
Exactly.
It's very difficult. You would see even in when you were in the ANC, it is different now. You are starting to see it.
Yes.
Organizing independent thinkers, it's
Yes.
very difficult.
True.
Because they think differently, and it's very difficult to give them a line of march.
Yes.
Remember, if you're a follower, even if you do not agree fully with something, you need to swallow your pride and move with it.
Exactly.
Yes, even if you need to register to say, I do not believe this, but I'll do it. You understand? So this is one of the least credits that Julius Malema is given.
Yes.
But let's move because of time. Open borders. Please explain it to us. How do you translate it?
I think we need to look at this thing gradually. For an example, UAT in Lesotho is in parliament.
Say it again.
UAT, the United African Transformation Political Party, in Lesotho, is in parliament with Dr. Pamotse. We are in parliament in Lesotho. So the UAT in Lesotho will win the next election.
Or Mo Africa.
Go botsa nnete. Now mpotse ha Lesotho le le ka hara Afrika Borwa go tla jwang ba sa kgone go ba kene ba tswe ska ntse ba etsa mare e be legal. Now similar to Zimbabwe, similar to Zambia, similar to Mozambique. Look at Mozambique and Zimbabwe and Eswatini. In honali this Engeleso. Honali Khosimole. There's a chief there. This chief is in South Africa, but some of the people are in Swaziland and Mozambique. I don't know you are aware of that. Now, why are we having that? Whereas a person moved from Belgium to France to England, got trained, was not the border. And then economy is strong. The whole idea could have a trader amongst ourselves, exchange our skill freely without being questioned. However, we need a mechanism on how then we manage it so that risk create an environment that we cannot control. Now, if we start gradually with the Southern Africa, Pili, and not all of them. We have your Botswana who are having Americans looking at us as I'm speaking to you. So you can't just put them in. So you start it gradually and see if it can work. Because I don't see why the Mozambican people have to come here with what you call the passport. Okay, Labon. But it needs to be controlled through laws. Okay, Labon.
So let me speak on behalf, not on behalf.
Okay.
Let me speak. Let me say what they are saying.
Okay.
Your Tutulas and your Kasi people first and stuff. They actually agree with you. What they are saying is, if you do not grow Zimbabwe, if you not go Bulawayo, Msfingo, you do not grow Harare, you do not grow Shai, Maputo, you do not grow Francis Town in Botswana. The problem is, once you ignore the borders, everyone will come here. Before. So this is what they are saying. I say, if we do not, if If we fear that, then we will never grow.
Exactly.
And I say, there are more South Africans, and this I keep saying, and I'm not
Yes.
going to stop.
Yes.
There are more Botswana people living in South Africa than in Botswana.
Exactly.
Same as Swaziland.
Yes.
Same as Basotho, Baba Paya in South Africa than in. If we just call up this thing and we become one country, then no one is going to be a foreigner.
Exactly.
You're not going to call anyone Gwere because he will not be Gwere.
Definitely.
Maybe that would be a good start.
Yes.
Maybe that would be a good start.
No, I agree with you. I also want to add.
Yes.
You know the money that is invested go international relations.
Deco.
I didn't want to mention the department.
Okay.
But international relations.
Okay.
Which is
Yeah.
it's a lot of money.
Yes.
But what about the output? Is there anyone who monitoring what are we gaining from these countries that we have diplomatic relations with? Because we're talking over 100 and something. Some of these countries, we're not sure if they're investing foreign. You know, you ask yourself, for a king really running this country, why are we having relations? Now, there is an issue. Why can't we use this time for a Zimbabwe be strong? Can support it fully. Ibu ka borotobole ke botlosa go bana baka ke ba isetsa bona gore ba je comfortable ba le ka mole iseng ke banke ke ba tlise ko nna then ba ka ba be disturbed a little bit because papa safati bana ba starting attention as safarona. Now you don't have to have borders, but support these foreign countries and enhance whatever they have we don't have. Renal issue a cannibal Mutekwan, a holang a package you are, the Malfatsatan and Boholland Bakai Shoka, it a Mulisutu, the guy package. Yatsama, go a rubber trusa, the lots of one and the Lukiswe, a package. Go Kibulela Hore, whatever you have in this foreign, in these nearby countries, assist the Resca Dafti Sabona, so that Bahole, Woskabalili Baka, Batlemo, Battle to holiday in Habatlamuna. Now, the money that has been spent, got the diplomacy and all those things, that is the money that's supposed to put these ideas together for those foreign countries to hold on their own. Now there's this issue here, countries, the foreign nationals, it's a monana question in Babula the tech shop. I'm not against the idea, but ceremoniously, you were supposed to have a plan. It's in quality shop or promoter, you save. You save it like questioning a quality tech shop. Then those shop by on actually. What are they doing? It means you didn't have a plan. Because you were supposed to ensure what's about this you save it and below multiplex. Key investment that why it's happen in our locations. You're supposed to take all the shop what's about one go fella look how the shop what's in it. Or banka or baba the shareholder, babereka you save. Bahono benefit as the locals. Now, if we hutla this person, anchor shop I be next to Spa. Next to Spa, motor it's a tech shop. And I'm motor register the shoe. It's questionable. Now you have to manage it. You need to regulate these things without causing conflict. They need to be managed. We promote the local businesses. If we batla hore the safe and them, who benefit already people.
Why are you diplomatic on Ethiopians and Pakistanis owning an industry that's about 178 billion in South Africa, when ShopRite, our biggest retailer, is sitting at 149 billion? They have not even broken the 150. This thing is owned, is controlled by foreign nationals in South Africa, majority of which are not even legal foreigners. This scares a lot of people, and I want you to speak on it. It's very scary if you look at the numbers.
Why? Who benefits from when these people from Ethiopia come here? Are they from Ethiopia? Remember, there's three things. There's Ethiopia, there's Somalia, there's Eritrea.
To us, they look the same.
Yeah, that is a problem.
They almost speak the same. Yes.
Go when officially most South Africa or a break so or when rona re northwest regional mine ga ba country on our own. other provinces. Because it's Cape Town. Only Cape Town, you feel like your government is so well, you want a country on your own. But how did they achieve that?
Let's continue. Let's speak about the spaza shops again.
Yeah, because now my point is that there are South African families who are benefiting from this project, more especially the Eritrea one. Because remember, Eritrea, it's a communist country that believes in the government must employ them, because the government owns everything. But the government doesn't have resources to mine. It's depending on who? These billionaire South Africans who are mining there and giving them a share. Part of the deal, they can come to our country and enjoy South Africa. But are we benefiting as a country from that? That is a question I'm asking.
That's what I want you to talk on.
We're not. That is why I'm saying, if we have deals that push the Pan-African as a whole, it's all right, but not capital using us while they're benefiting. Only those 4 families are benefiting, and these people are flocking here, taking jobs. So I'm not saying they're taking jobs. Why are you bringing them without a plan? Because we had a good plan to go and hijack Eritrea and mine in their countries, give them all the equipment and run their mines. In a similar way, the Europeans come here and mine in our countries. There are South African billionaires who are mining in those countries. Hence, it's difficult for powerful politicians to talk about the issue of the Nyaupe and them. When did it arrive, this Nyaupe thing?
You tell me.
I don't know.
When we started relaxing our borders after the new dispensation, when we were pushing...
So it came from outside?
Well, the narrative...
How come it's not biologically tested as a drug?
I don't know. You tell me. You come with the solution.
No, these are African questions. That now there is a problem that we need to put our research skill on and ensure that these questions are answered. The UAT will answer that. When you put them in government, they won't choose among themselves. They'll choose the best in the business, the best skilled black people in the business to go and understand the concept. When this happens, who benefits? When we are hungry, when we are struggling, who benefits? Let's put our scholars into question and say now, yes, you are a master's, you are a PhD, but what is this that you are contributing into this economy or into this country, and give them this task to go and find out that when you see these people everywhere, who benefits? Are South African benefiting? It's a very important question, but it's a question that needs to be answered with facts.
Tell me about the banks. What's your idea about the banks? What should happen to the banks?
You know, the issue of banks is difficult because it's surprising that no one is talking about it, like no one is pushing it. People are talking about the state capture and them.
The EFF would argue that they are pushing it.
Where?
They are pushing it by talking about it because they are not in power.
They went on the street, wanted Zuma to go.
Yes.
They were not in power. They had a front line. They were in front, wanting Zuma to go. Then they were pushing the Gandla issue.
Okay.
Yes, that they were pushing. You see.
So what do you want? What would have satisfied you that they are pushing?
They must take it to the street.
No.
When we say to the street,
this thing of going to the street.
You know the street. When you talk about taking issue to the street, I saw some guy on is YouTube or these things, TikToks and them. Atsamaya I video ayokwala account ya high. Go one of the banks. Kabakala hoba kwetsi account tsa leader ya bona.
Yes.
That is taking it to the street. That is action.
Yes. Now you and I agree.
Yeah, it's not necessary when you say take it to the street walwa.
Yes. No, I wasn't even fighting. Talking about fighting. I was talking about marching, Amandla, going to the street, someone says we don't like you, you go and march. Why don't you like us?
Yeah.
That's what I don't like with
Yes.
Africa, because I want action.
Yes.
I was saying, today as we speak, MK Party, I was telling another Kader to say, MK Party, right or wrong, FNB has told Zuma that we are closing your account. Right or wrong, court order or not court order, the MK say we are not happy with that, and we are going to come and we're going to tell you these are our demands. If you don't accede to our demands, it's simple. We are going to mobilize our people to close business with you.
Yes.
That is pro-Africanism that
Yes.
I love and that I expect. And I'm happy you and I see eye to eye. So I want you wait on a very short one, because we are closing.
Yes.
On banks. What is your stance and what are you going to do?
With these banks who manipulated prices or
Whatever. Once you take power, let's say you win 75%, and then with a 2/3 majority you want to change. You want to change the laws.
The state bank.
Yes. Yeah. State bank and banks and because many countries have state banks.
Yes.
So I want to understand.
The state bank. That is very important.
One bank.
That is a state bank.
What's going to happen to the current banks?
Now, these current banks, remember these banks, if you go back to the history, you know how they benefited, how they started.
Yes.
Yes. These banks are on its nature organized crime. That is why it's easy for them to manipulate price, because they are talking to each other.
Yes.
Now, we are here where we are because of these banks. Now, this bank has committed crimes in a similar way that the people who were killed in the lands, they've committed crime. Those lands are scenes of crime. When you commit a crime with a gun, we have to seize the gun.
Yes.
In a similar way, we have to go and seize the land. We have to seize these banks and have a national bank whereby o tlo tlhalosetswa gore he o patala ntlo for 20 years, mara how ka add a certain percentage, so o ka patala jwale ka koloi. You don't need to stress, I mean, to uba le khoba la property A1. Hence bona they telling them when they are buying these houses. Some of us, we are going with to borrow 2 million. Ke batla o bula a business e kholo by denier. Mara ha ke ya go batla ntlo the very same 2 million ba re ba kang edela 20 on top to show hore ba batla hore ke be a slave. Now these banks are progressive. They are not progressive, they are not for blacks. Hence you bona magoga bona, they are not working good.
The question is, what are your plans? What are you going to do to them? I know about the state bank. You told me about these banks. What are you going to do
with these banks?
Yeah, the ones that are currently here.
I think it's a topic that needs to be discussed. However, if these banks, they don't comply with the new banking system, this bank have to go.
Okay, so let me answer it for you. So what I listened to you saying, once you take power and you've got control, you will make laws to force them to comply to what you want.
Yes.
Those who do not, and then you check them out.
Definitely.
All right.
You put it well.
Okay. I want to understand. We've already answered everything. I want to understand that's the few. Jacob Zuma, they say he had 9 wasted years. The SACP said when they campaigned for him together with Kosatu and he took government, they gave him 5 priority areas to do, and he failed. They say he failed in everything. And he hasn't answered to corruption charges, blah, 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 blah. But he has got a lot of following. And people are now saying, because Jacob Zuma, he's been victimized, that's why they love him. And now he is one of the biggest political parties. What's your sentiment? Anything that you want to share about the Jacob Zuma and the MK?
Again, let's start with the issues of corruption. In a crime, you are a suspect. You are charged. It's either you are detained or you go for bail. And then the sentence comes. Once they declare that you are guilty, then you are exactly what they are calling. If you are corrupt, you are corrupt. If they charge you with corruption. So this thing of this and that are corrupt, that is not our politics. Unless the court says, Muto, I mean, sentence you for this crime, then
All right, sharp.
Uyabona?
Yeah.
And then the issue at Jacob Zuma, we don't want to touch much on.
No comment on MK.
Yeah, I don't think we need to comment much on MK. The only thing I can say, we congratulate them for the victory against IEC today, and we wish them luck because we've seen their campaign is very good. And if they are really mean what they say when they talk about the land expropriation without compensation,
You are behind them.
we are behind them.
Thank you. On EFF,
What about it?
what's your thinking about EFF? What is it that you like about them? We want to understand. I want you to, for our listeners, to know where you stand in our current day politics.
Yes.
Yeah.
The issue here is about mean what you are saying. It's very important.
You think they follow up on...
I don't want to say they don't,
Yeah.
but you must mean what you are saying.
Okay.
Because we've seen them in municipalities when they are needed most, they vote with DA. We distance ourselves from these DAs and FF+.
So you're saying you will never compromise your Africanness by voting with parties that you fundamentally are at variance with?
Yes, but we're not saying they are one of those.
Okay.
Yes. If they mean what they say,
Okay.
we are willing to talk.
All right.
But it's very important. An inconsistent leader is a dangerous leader.
Okay.
You can't wake up saying this and tomorrow say this.
So you alleging that I know with reason Julius Malema has flip-flopped on many things that he has said.
Yes.
So you are saying one of the indicators is EFF changes tunes. Is that what you say?
Yes, because today we might say land expropriation without compensation,
Jiggy, jiggy.
and when we wake up we say the land that is not in use.
Okay, it's fine. African National Congress, 30 years in government, biggest failure when we talk about biggest failure when we talk about what the ANC was about. It was about land. When we talk about land,
Yes.
biggest failure ever.
Definitely.
Please explain what is it that they are doing and about land that you will do differently.
They've never been interested in land. Maybe from the image, those who started it, or Prince Kaseme and them, they wanted inclusion and the land, which is great. But around 1959 and them, 1960 already, they've ignored the black programs. If you look at percentage-wise, from Nelson Mandela, where he started, and going forward, they said they wanted 30% by 1999 or what, and it was coming around 11%, coming all right. But go and look at it today. At some stage it was there. The very same people now, it went down. Why does it go down? Now that shows what the land thing is not. They're not interested in it.
Okay.
And that is why some of us, ANC, it's an organization. It's not just an institution. It's an organization. In a socialist inside, in a nationalist, in a Pan-Africanist inside, in a economist. The similar way Mandela had the reconciliation, and Mbeki had African Renaissance, and then Zuma had the radical economic transformation. Now you see different style and different personalities, but all those people must survive in one party. If you look at Julius, you look at Upravin, those are two characters, you can't even match them, but they had to survive in one party. Now that is a nature of that party. Now when you look at it, it doesn't represent us anymore.
Okay.
It's difficult to say that this is a black party that represents black people and this will save black people, and all the black program has been neglected.
Okay, as we close, the last topic is religion. You are a God-orientated Pan-Africanist
Yes.
movement. Which God do you subscribe to? Do you subscribe to a Christian God?
I love that you're asking this, because Putin just give us an answer that we've been talking about. Have you seen the latest? Putin has indicated that Jesus was black. So Jesus was black. Then masikhuluma ngomdali, sikhuluma ngo Jesus Christ. We can say that we are Christian and we believe in God, but we might not be talking about the same thing, because we are talking about this black God that we've been saying that Jesus is black. Hence, people were talking about the world started with Adam and Eve in the 400s, but you look at back to the 300s, the black people were already building the pyramids in Egypt.
Wait. Are you a Christian?
Am I a Christian?
Yeah, that's the question.
I'm a God-fearing man.
You are not a Christian.
I'm a God-fearing man.
Do you believe Jesus Christ was black and Jesus Christ was a Jew?
Jesus Christ was black.
Was he a Jewish man?
He was black.
Was he a Jewish man?
He was black.
He was a black Jew.
He was a black man.
He was Lemba. Lembas are black Jews.
Yes. Jesus Christ was a black man.
So the Lembas could be relatives of Jesus Christ.
Exactly.
The reason I'm asking you all of these questions is, I think you and I will agree that part of this, the colonialists, when imperialism came, it relied on the Christian missionaries to suppress and subjugate African people.
Yes.
The education they gave us was in essence a tool for colonialism.
Yes.
Because they wanted us to be Christian
Yes.
and anglicized and forget the thing that we did.
Yes.
So we could relate to more of theirs.
Yes.
So to me, Christianity is part and parcel of the toolbox that the colonialists have used.
Yes.
And it becomes a contradiction in term for you as an African man who espouses black consciousness and Pan-Africanism, who holds the Christian God higher. And I just want you to give an opportunity to explain that part. I'm conflicted in understanding where you position your religion.
It is difficult to say you're conflicted when I've emphasized that I'm a God-fearing man. I've never said I'm a Christian man. I said I'm a God-fearing man. If you're listening to me, yes, that can be a conflict. And UAT is for everyone.
So let's talk about the God.
Christians, UAT is for Christians. UAT is for Sangomas, Muslims, Jewish, everyone that believes that for a black child to wake up and achieve ultimately what he deserves or she deserves.
I heard you speaking about if God can help you so you could take power and stuff. Why do you think God has neglected the African people?
God has not neglected African people. African people has neglected themselves. Self-hate. It is easy to love something that is on the other side. That is why we are wearing weaves. That is why we are carrying a bag that worth 100,000, but inside we have 100 rand.
Slave queens are catching strays now.
These are not our thing.
The reason I'm asking you this question is, do you pray and ask for God to intervene in your issues? And if you do, whether
yes.
If you do, and God is answering, why are African people not liberated? If you are praying for God and he's ignoring you, why do you hold him in such regard? If he's here, if he's there for you.
God will never give you amatapile and amatamati.
What does that mean?
God will never give you potatoes and tomatoes and say go and sell. You stock hasila uthola amatamati namatapile, and then you pray God that my business progress. There's no one who will come and say, God, come, let me look for taxi there. As for God put you in a taxi. No, you need to go and say, I have a license. Can I please drive your taxi? And look for work. Okay, now, you have to take initiative. We are saying we don't need New Africa. We say we need Africa that is renewed mentally. We need to renew the mind of Africans. We are saying that you must forget about his story, their story. Let's talk about our story, the African story.
So, in Africa, you are saying God is looking and folding his arms.
God is not
seeing more than more than 500 years.
God is not folding his eyes. My Africa must wake up. My Africa must wake up and stop embracing white people. My Africa must lean towards black.
You're talking about white people, I'm talking about God here.
Yeah.
So
I get you are saying that now. Are you saying God has been ignoring blacks? Are you saying blacks?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Hence I'm jumping into, because if he's ignoring blacks, it means the white are progressing.
No, I want to talk to you the relationship between God and African people.
Yes.
God has seen the carnage African people have suffered, and African people have constantly been praying for God. And what has God done for African people?
This thing. This is a mental slave. You have people who are in government for 30 years. Who have Mahlatsi or with qualification, they've never been given a chance to see that God that you are talking about, it's alive. Who have taken all these resources to our relatives and girlfriends, family members, and greedy. So are you saying those who are...
No, I think you are deviating. Because my question is simply, what has God done for African people?
What God has done for African people?
Yeah, what has he done?
No, African people must wake up, work, love each other, love themselves even before they love each other. Love themselves, and God will be there for them. There is no such a thing, because now I'll be celebrating your downfall tomorrow. In a similar way, you'll be celebrating mine. It's different when you go to the Asians, like India and them, whereby they share resources and upgrade each other. Even in the type of prayer that they are using, they pray well. They are specific of what they seek to achieve. Are we doing the same? Or they give us one prayer and we do the one prayer and we are done. You see? So maybe this is how we do things. Maybe we need to go back and revisit who are we as Africans, Relma Africa.
So and then, in short, you're saying we have not, okay, God has not neglected African people. African people have neglected God.
And who's God?
I don't know. They
have neglected themselves, because God lives within you. If you don't love yourself, there's no way you can love me.
African people basokola because they don't love themselves. Thank you very much, Mahlatsi. Thanks for coming. We're waiting for big numbers as you promised. Can you please promise our audience that June wabo? Because you made commitments.
Definitely. Kajuni Araboa, and we'll be preparing our list for Parliament. The doers will be on the street painting the town grey and white, and we'll be supporting our black brothers in communication space, in media space, podcasting space, black brothers who invited us when people didn't want to speak to us. Let's promote these people. We are coming back. We're coming back in numbers. To all the doers at home, Kani Mambo.
Thank you.
Thank you.